Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Regular viewers will know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Well, today this isn't really a review, this is more of a comparison between the Fuji X-T2, which is this camera here, and I love this camera. I've only recently purchased this camera. I'm actually filming the main camera, the close-up camera, on my Fujifilm X-T3, which is the replacement to this one, the next model up kind of thing. This is still current, but the X-T3 has more features, particularly video features. And the autofocus is better on the X-T3 than it is on the X-T2. But for stills, this camera is absolutely awesome. And I'm comparing it really with the Fujifilm X-T20, which is this little baby here, which I recently purchased. I purchased the X-T20 prior to buying the X-T2. And I really just want to do a little comparison between the two. So one of the main differences is size, and you'll see here that if you look at the sizes, well, it's tricky to tell actually, but the X-T20 is substantially smaller than the X-T2. I really don't know how easy you're going to be able to see that, but you might be able to see it better that way. Here we go. It's a much smaller footprint on the X-T20, which means they've had to take away some of the actual dials, but the functions are still there, just handled in a different way. What I love about both of these cameras is the very tactile feel, the handling of them. Now, the beauty with the X-T20, because it is smaller, it fits in my Billingham bag. Let me just get the bag, just here. So I've got this Billingham bag, which is a fantastic bag. I take this everywhere with me when I go out doing photography. And it's great because it's got the two compartments, but the X-T20 is small enough to fit in one side, and the X-T2 or the X-T3 in the other side. And there we have a fantastic compact system, both producing fantastic results. So that was one of the reasons I got the X-T20 for, was to complement my X-T3 predominantly. But I wanted something just a wee bit smaller. And so I went for the X-T20, but then I realised there's features on the X-T2 that the X-T20 hasn't got. So let's have a quick look over the X-T2. Now the X-T2 is a 24 megapixel, 24 megapixel X-Trans 3 sensor, which is absolutely identical to the X-T20. So the image quality that comes off these two cameras is actually identical, and that's a wonderful thing that I'm really pleased with. But when I go out with a compact camera, I'm getting exactly the same quality as I'm getting from the X-T2. And then the X-T3 is 26 megapixels, so it's just you know, a bit bigger. So you've got that bit better quality. It's marginal, to be honest, but it is just that little bit better in low light compared to the X-T2. And I'm going to get myself really confused now between the X-T2 20s and 3s and what have you. But the top plate of the X-T2 is virtually identical to the top plate of the X-T3. The exposure compensation, shutter speed with a lockable dial, shutter speed setting, and then you've got your ISO setting on the top here, obviously a hot shoe, and a recess function button on the top there. And then you've got on the back your usual pad dial here, joystick control for your focus, which I absolutely love using. That's one of the greatest features on both the X-T3 and the X-T2. But the X-T20, they've had to lose that because obviously it's a much smaller body. But the X-T2, that dial there for adjusting the focus is great. And then you can adjust what size you want, whether it's completely wide. The camera sets the focus itself in that set position, and then you can just go down to, you know, really pinpoint. And then the focus wheel, you can see that it picks that up, so you can put the focus point wherever you like. That's an awesome feature. I do use that a great deal, because I tend to want to choose the focus point rather than let the camera decide what the focus point is, unless I'm using face detect. See, now on the XT3 I'm using face detect because obviously I'm not behind the camera, so I want the camera to actually focus on my face, and I hope it's doing a really good job. I see no reason why it shouldn't be, but so that's basically, you know, the control dial. Well, of course the controls on the XT20 are slightly more limited because of the footprint. It's a smaller body, so you've got your exposure compensation, still squeezed in a function button on the top, shutter speed dial, but it isn't lockable, which is fine. Then I've got a kind of a mode dial on the side here, which isn't really like a PASM, well, it isn't a PASM dial, so you've got a single shot there, but you adjust your settings via either the aperture control ring on here and the shutter speed on the top plate here, which is the same on the XT2 and the XT20. Let's get back to the XT2. Now, again, comparing the two, you can see a vast difference in size between the, not vast difference, but quite a different, and weight as well. The XT20 is quite a bit lighter than the XT2. You can see there's quite a difference there, and you can see on the back here the XT20 is missing the jog wheel, this jog wheel here for adjusting your focus. What you do, you go into one of these function buttons for setting your focus, and I think it's that one, single point, might be that one. Yeah, it's the bottom. I've set up the bottom one to adjust your focus. So it still does the same thing. You can adjust the whether it's pin, you know, pinpoint or wider, and then that's your focus point. So, you know, as long as you remember what function button you've set up for finding, setting your focus point, you're winning, you know. So that's great. So you can see here, that's the differences in body sizes. It's a 3-inch screen on the back, which is exactly the same, and on the XT20 it only tilts up and down. Don't know if you can see that. That goes up and down, pretty standard with most cameras, where on the XT2 it tilts up and down. You can see that, but you can push a little on the side here. There's a little lever, well, not lever, a little button you push in, slide up, and then it will tilt outwards like that. That's designed if you're taking photographs like that, or possibly even like that, so you can see what you're doing, which is fine. But it doesn't have fully articulated, neither of the cameras have a fully articulating screen like you find on the X100, which I'm filming at the back here. That's filming the wide shot of the back, and that's got a fully articulating screen, which is really, really good. So that's basically the physical differences between the XT2 and the XT20. They both have the traditional dials on the front here for adjusting aperture, exposure settings, shutter speed if you're in shutter priority, although obviously you can adjust it on the top here as well. So, you know, they've really thought this through with the different functions. Likewise, as I say, this one's got your 2 exposure wheel, your 2 control dials, one on the front, one on the back, exposure lock for back button focusing, which I tend not to use, and that's it really. Here we go again. What I do like, as I say, is the compact size for putting in my Billingham bag, but what I don't like is the grip. because on the XT2 and the XT3 you've got a really good grip, and that's really comfortable. That's, you know, I find that lovely to use, and I go out a lot just walking around doing casual shots, like when we went to Cardiff Castle. You know, just walking. I actually use the XT3 mainly for obvious reasons. It's a newer model, but that is just really comfortable. But the XT20 isn't. Not in my hands. I've got quite big hands, but my palm of my thumb just pushes these function buttons in, and it really annoys me. So I did actually buy a little grip just to go on it. I don't think it's made by Fuji. No, it wouldn't be. So that just slots into there. I won't bother tightening it up. So you get a much better grip. The only unfortunate thing is it makes the footprint just a wee bit bigger. Not much bigger, but a wee bit bigger. And it makes it a bit tight in the Billingham bag. So I won't always put that on if I'm going out. But what I did get for the XT20, because this is one of the big differences that persuaded me to go the XT2 route, was for video. Now, the XT2 does record 4K video internally, and it records it to, obviously, it's got two USB, that's the other difference. The XT2's got two USB card slots on the side, same as the XT3, but the XT20 only has the one. So you've got redundancy. If you're a pro, or you need to be sure that you've got the image, then your XT2 or XT3 is going to be a better bet, because the XT20 has only got the one card slot. But the other big difference is video. Although the XT2 and the XT20 both do 4K, the XT20, I'm getting myself confused now, the XT20 only does a maximum of 10 minutes. And also, the image quality in 4K is a wee bit softer on the XT20 because of the way it records the image off the sensor. So you're limited to 10 minutes, whereby with the XT2, it's 10 minutes on its own. But if you buy the external battery grip, you get various advantages. And I've actually got the external battery grip. You get quite a few. Oh, I haven't even put it on yet. Look at that. Oops. You get quite a few advantages with the battery grip. Obviously, you get the benefit of using more batteries, so it's gonna last longer. You know, we record. I won't put that on yet. But basically, you've got the use of 3 batteries with the external battery grip. So you've got 2 batteries in the grip and the 1 battery in the camera. So that'll just go on forever and a day, hopefully. I've not tested it yet, so it should give you plenty of recording time. In addition to that, it extends the 10-minute record limit to 30-minute record limit, well, 29.99, 30-minute record limit, which is great, because most of the stuff I do is less than 30 minutes. So that is awesome. And the third thing that the grip provides is a headphone jack, whereas on the body there is no headphone jack. There's a mic jack but no headphone jack, so you do need the grip if you're serious about, I mean, there's the mic jack on the inside there. If you're serious about video, you really do need the XT2. The other thing, the XT20 has a mic jack, but it's only a 2.5mm as opposed to a 3.5mm jack. So, and it's got no headphone jack. So it's not really a serious video camera. It's a happy snapper. There's the mic jack on the XT20. It's for getting casual, I almost said a happy snapper video. You don't snap videos, but it's more of a casual video camera for getting a few 3-4 minute clips here and there on the XT20. It's not a serious video camera. This one here, very serious. You do get a crop factor though in 4K, because it's actually cropping part of a sensor to get a higher quality image. So you have to be wary, you have to be slightly aware of that. So that's the benefits with the grip, is more battery power, and headphone jack, and extended record limit up to 30 minutes as opposed to the 10-minute limit. So you know, there we go. So that's pretty much the main differences. The image quality as far as stills is identical between the two cameras because it's got exactly the same sensor. So, but this is a lot lighter, this is heavier. I think if you're mainly into stills, I would say save yourself some money and go for the XT20 because you're going to get exactly the same results. The one downside that lets all the Fujis down, even including the XT3, is there's no image stabilization. So you either have to have an extremely steady hand or use lenses with optical image stabilization built in. I haven't got a particularly steady hand, so all my lenses, apart from this wide angle, this lens that's on it, image stabilized. And I would highly recommend you use the image stabilized lenses, you know, to get the better results. But no, fabulous cameras, really, really well worth investing in. I love them. So the other thing is there is a function button on the front of the XT2, same as the XT3, just here. The XT20, there is no function button on the front. Yeah, beautifully designed, aren't they? Don't you reckon? Looking at the tops of these cameras, they're so nicely designed. I love it. I love the old retro film look. So there we go. That's my not a reviewer search, but my thoughts on the XT2 versus the XT20. So if you're serious about video and you can't justify the cost of the XT3, then go for the XT2 as long as you get the grip. That's my thoughts on the Fujifilm XT20 and the XT2. If you're on a budget and you're mainly into stills, go for the XT20, I think, although it is a small body, so be aware of the grip and the, you know, handling of it. But if you want to spend a bit more, can justify spending a bit more, and you want to do much more video, go for the XT2. You absolutely won't regret it. It is heavier, but it's a very nice piece of kit. And if you're really flush and you want to get the very best, go for the XT3, because I'm using that now and it's phenomenal. Absolutely love it. And its main advantages isn't really with stills, because I can't tell much difference between the XT2 and the XT3. Its advantages is absolutely on the video front and the autofocus front. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed watching this and you enjoy my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Tell all your friends and hit the like button if you like this video. I will be doing a comparison between the XT2 and the XT3. So stay tuned for that one coming up. And I hope you enjoy this channel, as I say. If you do enjoy this channel, subscribe. I've just said that, but I'm saying it again. And if you like this video, find it helpful, please hit the like button. Really appreciate that. I don't get paid for doing these reviews. I don't get sent equipment. Everything you see, I've bought. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this comparison between the XT20 and XT2. I've probably missed things out about the two of them because I've only glossed over it. But I hope that did help anyway. Please leave any comments down below if you want any further information. Thanks very much and enjoy the channel. Thank you. Cheers for now. Bye.